It's time for the NFL playoffs on EA Sports, and we are in a city that sure had its share of memorable playoff games in the past. Pittsburgh, PA at Heinz Field. Coming up, it's divisional round Saturday, and we've got an AFC battle on tap between the Oakland Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. The first of 4 berths in the conference championships on the line here as divisional weekend in the NFL is underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Steelers take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Let's go now. Let's try to the ending. Oh. Mike 96. Mike 96. Check tight end. Check tight. What? Check.
A first down throw for Brissett. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there on the first play of the game. 55 yards. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. And able to get about 3 as he's taken down right at the 20. The excellent play last time is followed by a much more routine gain of 3.
Watch the screen. At the 20-yard line.
Mike 96. Watch the screen.
On second down, a run with Breida. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
On first down, here's Breida. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Here's Breida. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up. You go tight. You got tight. You got tight right there.
They'll run with a former Tar Heel, TJ Logan. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
Gonzalez's kick is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
This will be taken in at the 1.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Set. 180. Stop your run. Watch the shit.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. Hey, Delta.
A first down throw for Mayfield. He'll get this to his running back. It's Justin Jackson.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
80 weapons. Smooth. Point it right.
Mayfield looks to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Deshaun Hand able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
3rd and long for Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And got his man complete. And all the way down to the 40-yard line. A big play that time for the Raiders. 51 yards. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback in his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
On 2nd and 7, Mayfield. Now Mayfield lost the football, and it's picked up by the Steelers. He's at the 30, 10, and he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. It gives some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
It's a short kick, taking it to 15. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're forced to play catch-up early in this division round game as they search for a seat in the AFC Championship round. Throwing, Mayfield. It's caught by Jackson. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Regular. Hey, Foxtrot. I got it.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
180.
On 3rd down, this is Jackson. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
On first down, Wiggins. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10.
King. Hurry. Tend the mic. Quarterback, don't get nervous now.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. That's caught by Jackson. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So 3rd and 2. This quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. On the ground, this is Jackson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. This will be from 56 yards out. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. And there is nothing easy about being a kicker on a day like this.
Yeah, I tell you, not only is the footing tough in the snow, but kicking that ball is like kicking a rock. Very difficult to get any sort of feel on your kicks.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
Watch the out. Hey, 96 is coming. We're going to mic 96. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
Brissett. He's going to look deep down the field. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
Let's go, Mike. 50.
On 3rd down, Brissett. It's caught inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. A gain of 10, good for a Steeler first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, Brissett. Buying time to his left. Got his man, it's caught. for a Steelers touchdown. John Ross there to make the grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
First down 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
The throw over the middle taken in. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Mayfield to throw it. And some space here. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but well, let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Here we go. SOS.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Reynolds, 81 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive. Now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Here we go. Pittsburgh. 15. Check back 15. Rush twist. Check. Once more. Check. Slam.
50's the mic. 65.
Running out of the gun here, Breida. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Just like that.
Throwing. Brissett. Flush to his right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. That's a gain of 11. Would have been a first down if not for that penalty moments ago.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
And 96 is coming. You know, Mike 96. Man out, man out, man out, man out. Mike 96, Mike 96. Defense wins.
Second quarter action, 2 minutes to go on divisional round weekend.
What we got? What we got? What we got?
We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend.
Mike 96, Mike 96.
Quit talking about it and bring it.
Echo. And 96 is coming. We got Mike 96.
Brissett from the gun on 3rd. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, this is Jackson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, people say bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
High 7.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. he's going to let this go deep for Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with Breida. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Matt Breida, 69 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. They run on 1st down with Jackson. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. Final play of the half, Mayfield. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So it's on to halftime in this AFC divisional round matchup. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, win or go home, that's the name of the game, and we're back underway with the second half of this AFC divisional round. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Mayfield now. They'll set up the screen here to Justin Jackson. And he'll lose yardage on this one, back to the 13. A loss of 2 there, second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's the Raiders punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Here's Hill on the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Here's Bissett. And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them. From the red zone now, Brissett under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Leonard Williams, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a give right side. It's Logan. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 3 yards on the gain. They're going to need to do better on this next play. It'll be 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd and 12.
Come on, set. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. You better be ready.
On 3rd down, a run from Breida. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Brissett. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Kelvin Harmon there to make the grab. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. And in hindsight, probably should have stayed where he was, as he'll only get back to the 16-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. That's into the hands of Reynolds. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A huge play there on the screen pass. 51 yards. So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field. They run the counter. It's Jackson. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
From the 29, Mayfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, it should not stop them at all from going back to him, though. Find him. Find him.
The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down.
Regular. Pilot, 64, weak. Watch twist. Kill. Point it right. I got it.
From the gun, Mayfield. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Undercrunch.
This is Breida.
Tighten up.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback on the expected passing situation.
Get that quarterback at all costs.
Check. Fred, go. Fresno. Rotate. Bell. Figure out.
From the shotgun, it's Brissett. He is going to find Hill here. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion.
First down. First and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Say nothing. 37. Check 37. Check.
They run with Breida. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Go. Smash.
One quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Ready? Kick right. Mike 96. What's the run? Hey, they're running it.
Get him! Get him!
Hey, 96 is coming. We're going to Mike 96. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Let's get in there, Hal.
Mike 96! Mike 96! Off.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. Hey, 96 is coming.
A first down throw for Brissett. Eluding the pressure right. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Check, ready. It's got to be a long day. It's going to be a long day.
Hey, 96 is coming. We're going to Mike 96.
Got to do better. Come on, QB, come on. Mike 96, Mike 96.
From the gun, here's Brissett. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. David Onyemata in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And the kick by Gonzalez is good. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offensive coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. He was looking for Josh Reynolds that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Mayfield looks to throw. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. That's caught at the 25. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Robert Woods, 76 yards. And the Raiders get a score closer.
So, my man, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now.
We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend.
No, definitely not this weekend. And for anyone else out there, bring your game.
Fire beware. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football.
Kill.
Hey, 96 is coming. We're going to Mike 96.
Crunch time.
Out of the shotgun, Breida. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This will be 3rd and 6.
Mike 96. Here we go, here we go. Mike 96, Mike 96. Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl. Hey. And 96 is coming. We go Mike 96. I got him. Mike 96, Mike 96. You gonna get You think you gonna get this?
Now Brissett. He's got the first down here inside the 30. And he's finally down at the 21-yard line. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
Brissett now. Escaping the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
Point it right. Switch. Hey, alert 33. 50, check 50. Kings. Let's go.
Following the interception, Mayfield. It's caught by Funchess. A pickup of 10, and it's enough for an Oakland first down.
Kings.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Raiders.
A first down throw from Mayfield. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play that time for the Raiders. 56 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter. Again, it's Jackson as he'll stay on the ground. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards there and a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Mayfield. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. So up comes Mayfield as his guys will go for 2. Working out of the gun. Mayfield busts through the tackle. And he's got it for the 2-point conversion. So they tack on a pair more here to narrow that deficit a bit further. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
He's got the first down here inside the 30. And all the way down to the 17-yard line. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now it's Breida. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Under 10, under 10, 10. Hey, check 24, watch 24.
Now a give to Breida. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Mike 96, Mike 96. It's coming this way, Here we go, here we go, here we go.
Back. Showing it. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Jack.
Breida, he'll try the right side. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Matt Breida, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tavarius Moore. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
And, Charles, if you're the coach of the losing team, even though you made it to the playoffs and there's part of that feels good, what do you say to your guys after?
I think you probably tell them how proud you are of them to make the effort to get to this game, and then point them towards the future. If we're good enough to get here, all we've got to do is work harder, be better, and we can be good enough to go farther next season. How many times have we seen a team lose in the playoffs, and that girds them for a championship run in the future?
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Heinz Field.